In this video, we are going to be covering some of the most hyped mints coming up, as well as some major updates and announcements on some of our favorite projects. Now, the first thing we gotta start off with is what's going on in the markets, right? Typically what I like to do is I like to track Bitcoin and Ethereum to see where the market overall is moving, because how that affects altcoins and everything is going to affect how NFTs move in terms of volume. So over the past month, Ethereum has kind of been pushing from 2.6 to 3.5 back to 3K. So looking kind of healthy. It's not like totally dipping or anything. It's not going crazy, but it's kind of at that consistent 3K, which is, you know, not necessarily bullish, not necessarily bearish. It's just kind of in the middle, and we're kind of just seeing what may happen in the future, right? Nobody has a crystal ball or anything, but my personal take is that we probably will see some kind of mini run sometime in the future, probably in April or May. That's just my take, but you know, I could be totally wrong on that. And if we kind of scroll down, altcoins and everything kind of look the same, not really much volume moving up or down. And if we are going into OpenSea with the top NFTs, there are volume for, you know, some of the more popular projects that have minted, for example, Arcade Land, Shinsekai, which we covered the other day, Imposters as well. So there is volume moving in certain projects that have hype mints. But if you're kind of scrolling down to, like, let's say number 30 or whatever, yeah, you know, these other projects as well have a lot of volume, like 300% here, 500% here, but other ones are going down as well. So I would say overall, like, I feel like there are certain new mints that people want to like make money on. They are getting pumped up. But when it comes to like the blue chip projects, they're kind of stable. Like if you look at, let's say, a Cyberkong, Cool Cat, Kaiju, some of them are stable, some of them are going down, and that's just normal in the market. So if you are holding any of these assets, understand that yes, it could go even lower, but that typically happens during a bear market. And you know, just like that, when things change, narrative changes, sentiment changes, they can go right back up. So, you know, just be mindful of that and don't like panic sell anything, especially if you're not really sure what's going on. Now, the first project we are going to be talking about is an upcoming mint called 88 Dynasty. Now, I did cover them before in one of my previous videos, but they had a lot of new information come out and they have a lot more teasers. So 88 Dynasty essentially is playing off of that Asian kind of theme. It's not the anime meta, it's kind of like more of the Asian theme and meta, because there are a lot of Asian people or people who like Asian culture that are interested in NFTs. So the NFT itself is gonna look like this. It's gonna be like a 3D picture. I'm not sure if you would call it a picture profile project, because I'm not sure if people would use it as their picture profile, but it's definitely a realistic 3D kind of vibe. So let's take a look at the roadmap, because, you know, 3D picture isn't enough these days. You gotta have some kind of utility, right? And from my understanding, they're trying to be a more Asian focused metaverse brand. So whatever that means, right? So phase one, launch a Web 1 store. I went on their website, literally did not see a Web 1 store here. So I have no idea what's going on over there. Maybe I'm missing it, right? If I am, leave it in the comments. I'm totally fine with that. But in my personal take, when it comes to reviewing projects and sharing info with you guys, if a project does not make it easy for you to find the things that they say they built, then either they didn't do it or they're hiding it. You know, usually one or the other, because if it was good, they would put it right on the front on their website, and I literally do not see it. But now I'm not knocking them down, I'm just saying that I don't see it. Launch Genesis 6888, okay, cool. And then these are the only lines that can generate luck, which is gonna be their token. Phase two, this thing launches, luck holders were able to spend the luck as a casino style raffle, I guess to win whitelist and other prizes probably. There's gonna be a comic, okay. Phase three, breeding, all right. So more NFTs, launch exclusive physical products, only purchasable through luck. Will people really want that? Remains to be seen. Launch Chinatown, Metaverse. Okay, so pretty much, I mean, you're looking at this roadmap, it's nothing spectacular. You know, if these things have already been done by basically every other project that before this, but I suppose they're kind of just taking what has already worked in the past, applying it to this Asian lion kind of thing and giving it to their audience, right? And the people that are running this is the founder. He's a really big proponent of like promoting Asian Americans, right? So he's part of this DAO called Golden DAO, co-founded by Andrew Yang and some other people. And Andrew Yang was the person that ran for president, right? The Asian American guy. And they're really trying to promote AAIP, like Asian American, Asian Pacific Islander. It's pretty cool that they're promoting this culture. So I definitely respect that. And I can see that just because they're hitting that niche, you know, they only need a few thousand people to be part of this community to make it something, right? So that's pretty much it. You know, it's like a standard metaverse play. I don't see anything like new or special going on, but they're just doing what already worked. A metaverse play, they're getting a lot of hype through Twitter. A lot of people are liking this, a lot of people following it. So probably will sell out because there's a demographic for this. The only concern that I personally have right now is like they're launching the token so soon. It's kind of weird, right? Because it's like you're launching a token that the Genesis is gonna have, and then you have an idea of what you will use the token for in the future, but is there like a economist or like a token specialist designing this token to make sure that it doesn't go to zero? Because we've seen with a lot of other projects that launch tokens early, let's say Kaiju Kings, Cyberkongs, Bear Deluxe, for example, and like any other project that launch a token, usually these tokens are like completely dumping, right? To make a token valuable, I think it takes a lot more intellectual manpower to figure that out, because what's gonna end up happening probably is that the token is gonna launch, it's gonna go up in price because of whatever, and then they don't have a sync for it, they don't have ways to utilize it, and then it just dumps, right? Yeah, I'm pretty skeptical on tokens. From a roadmap perspective, I think the market has matured quite a lot over the past year, where let's say like if you put out this roadmap 6 months ago, everyone go crazy, like, oh my God, they're doing so many things. But in reality, it's like, doesn't really mean too much these days in this market, right? And so that's something I would be careful about. I'm not saying it's a bad project. I'm just saying that, you know, we've seen it's been done before. Can they pull it off and make it something special? Yes, it's possible. It depends on the execution, but we'll just have to wait and see. By the way, make sure to follow me on Twitter to get the latest alpha and join our Discord. Link is in the description if you want to learn about our new NFT. Okay, so the next project we are going to be talking about is going to be Skyverse. And essentially it's like this land NFT project where they're selling you a piece of land and you're going to have utility for this land. And they've been doing collaborations with other NFT projects as well. Now, looking at the art itself, is it like spectacular? I think it's okay. You know, it is what it is. It's not like, oh my God, this is amazing, but it's like the low polygon count kind of look, which is typically easier to do and has its own unique style that's recognizable. So at least they got the branding going on and it's super hype. So as you can see, like these people are doing these whitelist giveaways. There's like 20,000 people liking it. Basically everyone doing giveaways for this project, right? So it's hitting the market. It probably will sell out because of so much hype involved, but let's dive a little deeper into understanding like what's going on. I'm gonna be using their website and their white paper to kind of cover this. I may be missing some stuff. Maybe there's an AMA where the founder talked about certain things that aren't covered in the white paper. I get it. I don't know everything, right? But this is just the information that we have at hand. So going on the website, you kind of just like scratch the screen and then you reveal this thing and then it looks like it's going to mint in about 12 hours. So by the time you see this, it probably may have minted, right? You know, going into the white paper itself, again, like when you're looking at a white paper, it doesn't mean that they're going to do any of these things. It just means that this is the promise that they are making and you as a holder of their collection take a lot of the risk of this because if it fails, then your collection also goes to zero. So I'm going to go straight into the mission. So they're basically saying that they're like a community driven NFT where they're going to connect other NFTs and bridge them together like Gojira, Sneaky Vampire Syndicates, Llamaverse. I guess that's a very similar vision to like the Sandbox, for example, or World Wide Web. So similar kind of vibe, right? The funding, this is really interesting. So they're saying that when they raise the funds, 95% of it is going to go to the Sky Vault, which is used to develop the project, and then 5% goes to the team, which is actually pretty generous for the Sky Vault. So like if they're really thinking long-term and really 95% of the royalties and the mint goes to the actual funding of the company, I respect that a lot. And it seems like people that work here, the team members are only going to get paid 0.6 ETH per month, which is not a lot actually, especially if, I don't know where they live, but if it was an American salary, it's actually not that much for this type of work. If they do this, much respect to them, much respect. You know, based on the white paper, they're saying they have a lot of experience, but the team's not doxed. So, you know, do with that what you will, because a lot of people don't trust anonymous founders these days. So the part that I want to dive into is the roadmap, because as the market matures and, you know, as me as a collector and someone that buys NFTs, my eye kind of got more advanced a little bit in terms of like what people promise and what could actually be true. So I'm going to look at this with a skeptical eye, not because I don't trust the founders, but because I'm skeptical of literally everything, because 99% of things are going to go to zero. So if you're a beginner watching this, you need to understand that 99% of the projects are literally going to zero no matter what they promise, right? I'm not saying this is going to be that project, but it could be. Anything could be that project, right? Utility, marketplace. Okay, the question I would have is, what utilities are they selling in this marketplace, for example, right? You literally have no idea. Okay, trading tool utility. Okay, I guess if they gave you like software to buy and sell NFTs, that would make sense. Pixelverse MMO world community game. Okay, so this I'm very skeptical, because like to create an MMO is one of the most difficult types of game to create. To do it with pixel is still even difficult. I'm not sure if it's going to be 2D or 3D, but if it's a 3D pixel game, very freaking hard to make. If we're talking like, you know, AAA development studio with like decades of experience, even for them to create an MMO, at least 1 year, but it probably will take multiple years, at least 1 year. And then they got to test it out, because MMOs are literally the hardest type of games to make. So like if they're promising Skypixel that massive multiplayer, like MMO, massive multiplayer online, if they're going to make this and you buy into it, understand that you're probably not going to see a full version of this until 1.5, 2 years later. And the entire market might change by then. So that's definitely a risk. Skyworlds, which is built on NFT Worlds, Minecraft project. So like, if you know NFT Worlds is a pretty hot project, people are like building in this world. In the beginning, they advertise themselves as like the bridge between connecting NFTs, but then they're using another NFTs project and technology and building on top of that. So it's like kind of weird. And then they're building an MMO on top of that. So it's like, how are they going to build like all these things at the same time? I don't know. Maybe they're going to be extremely good at hiring executives to run these different branches. And they're also going to do a sandbox as well. It's really weird to me that they would do 3 different projects, all massive, at the same time. It sounds good when you promise it on a roadmap, but execution wise, even one of them is really difficult to pull off. Planning future collections, so like that's probably their way to generate revenue, sell you more NFTs, right? Second, third collection has been planned. So like this is just, you know, for money pretty much to fund the company. Improvements to staking, token implementation. Okay, so they estimate their plans to take 50 to 70% of the funds, giving us quite room to explore. Okay, personally, in my opinion, the project is hype. A lot of people like it, but when you're really digging deep into the roadmap, and again, like maybe the founder says something differently in an AMA, I don't know, but I'm just going off of the white paper and the website, right? This is all the public available information that I can get. The roadmap is very difficult to do because they're kind of building a place where other worlds have to build on top of it to make it valuable. And they're building like 3 different things at once. So to do just SkyPixel, for example, they're competing against World Wide Web, which is only doing one thing at the same time. So like your energy is split into 3 different directions, and this competitor has all their energy laser focused in one of those, they're probably gonna crush you, right? Basically, you shouldn't expect any of these things to be built until like a year later. You know, that's pretty much what it is. And then if they're launching a token right off the bat, you know, for me, like I'm pretty skeptical of tokens in general because it's like, I'm not saying this project is particularly doing it. I'm just saying in general, okay, so please don't hate me in the comments. In general, when somebody launches a token in the beginning, we covered this before, it's like, you don't literally no idea how your token is going to work out economically, right? Like you have no idea who's gonna build on your platform and like what value they're gonna bring and where the token sinks are, meaning where are these people gonna spend their token? And then if like your marketplace sucks and there's nothing to buy there and then nobody wants to use your tokens, then it's like, okay, then the token has no value and then it goes to 0. But then you'll be like, oh, but you know, 1 year later, we're gonna have a SkyPixel, for example. And then like 1 year later, like is the project dead? I don't know, right? It's massive risk if you're holding long-term. A short-term, I would say that because there's so much hype, so much people on Twitter are aware of this, that there's probably going to be a lot of volatility. So you can probably make some money if you're trading. But long-term, I don't know. You know, I don't know. It could pump up like crazy, but I can see there's a lot of risks. You have to wait a long time before anything is actually built. So you have to believe in the community. So if that's you, totally great, you know, fine. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know, especially if you're a beginner, that there are a lot of risks and you might not see anything built until a year later. Okay, so we're gonna cover another quick project to put on your radar. It's gonna be Machina. Basically, it's a PFP project by this guy Dylan, who worked at Blizzard, Tencent, PUBG. So these are next on like all the biggest gaming companies. When we're looking at the art, I would say the art's pretty unique. It's good. It's got that video game kind of style. But besides that, there's not too much to it because this recently just launched. So if you're trying to get whitelist, for example, or you're trying to like get into this project early, I don't even see a Discord over here, but just give it a follow and maybe you can be one of the early OG members. So another project we're gonna cover is UNXD, which has a collaboration with Dolce and Gabanna. UNXD looks like it's gonna be some kind of marketplace where you can buy and sell NFTs. Oh, so this is gonna be the box for the NFT. See, I'm not really sure. UNXD, like it's not really saying what it is. Okay, that's literally all there is to their website. So maybe it's just like a company that does NFTs. I'm not quite sure yet. You know, Dolce Gabanna is a luxury brand. People are gonna buy into it just because it's Dolce Gabanna. Exclusive drops, collabs, physical. I guess people who buy this clothes would want to get their NFT because it's like a super membership, right? So they got the black box, they got the gold box, got a platinum box, different rewards. And to get that, you have to have at least 1.2 ETH in your wallet, join the Discord, follow them on Twitter, connect your wallet, and then you will be entered in a raffle. Only 200 people are going to win. A lot of people are gonna probably go for it. So check it out if you're trying to, you know, roll the dice a little bit. It's free to enter, so might as well. Next project that we have is going to be Vee Friends. They have an update on what the art is going to look like for Series 2. You know, is art necessarily like amazing? I wouldn't say so, but it's Gary Vee, and Gary Vee has a powerful brand. I guess they're taking like some of his drawings and turning it into like something more like cartoonish, not like a hand drawing. You know, pretty cool. Honestly, for Gary Vee, it doesn't really matter what the art looks like. He's just one of those guys that will put the event together, put everything together, build the utility, use his brand, get people in his ecosystem, get more people in his ecosystem. I feel like anything Gary Vee, you know, kind of hard to lose because he's been executing so well. And a lot of people don't like say, oh, Gary Vee's not like a Web3 person. I think he is. You know, I think he really understands this game and he understands how to bring NFTs to the mainstream market, which is very important. So definitely check out Vee Friends 2 because that is going to be coming out. If you want to learn how to get Vee Friends, just go on their Twitter. There's like this long thread of like, it kind of feels like doing homework, but you have to get educated to get these NFTs at the best prices. So definitely check that out. Another update is Superplastics has a collaboration with Bored Ape Club. We talked about that literally in yesterday's video. You know, there's some more information about this. So it seems like it's going to be 5 different physical items, 13 inches large each, made of vinyl. And you have to hold, you know, these NFTs to be able to mint it, or not really mint it, but buy it, right? Each one's gonna be $222. So I think it's pretty cool for anyone who like holds these NFTs. These will be collectible items. Will they increase in value in the future? Maybe, but I feel like a lot of people are buying these not because they increase in value, but because it's cool to have at your house or office. Like if I bought one of these and I put it in the back, that would be pretty cool for a decoration set, right? So they have Curtis, Skipper, Mutant Ape, basically different characters. And personally, what I find interesting is that they're taking these characters, like these Bored Ape IPs, and they're turning it into brands essentially, right? So this guy Curtis, who's wearing a sailor hat, but that could be a brand in the future that maybe one day you'll buy Curtis other toys or Curtis notebooks or Curtis whatever, right? And so it's really cool to see like this IP actually like work, right? Like the different characteristics can be different characters. And as the whole ecosystem rises, so the value of these toys, and let's say these toys rise crazy in value and it's on the news, then the whole ecosystem benefits. So like I'm pretty bullish on like NFT IP projects that can expand beyond their company and allow other people to create on top of them, like a platform almost, because it just raises the ecosystem overall. So definitely something interesting if you are interested in vinyl toys. And so that said, that's everything we got to cover for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, subscribe, because we're almost at 10,000 subscribers. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, and I will see you guys in the next one.